Dang, starting off hot. I'm an empath, coming in hot. And our first card, let's see if you can see that past the ring light, is Destiny. It's really fuzzy, so I'll probably just tell you about them. What does that mean for us? So on this particular new moon, even though it might not feel like we're necessarily at decision points, it does feel like there's something in our trajectory that is beginning to shift. Be it subtle, be it something that's already conscious for you, this will likely come through in the kind of interactions, the kind of decisions, the kind of changes you can affect in your world that bring more harmony. And this feels familiar. We may have said something similar last time too, of feeling for anything that it's coming through as like a rock of your boat, like a very sizable rock or some kind of seismic activity when there's an interaction between whatever the source of that is in your sphere. And really holding the container for sussing out what needs to happen with those relationships, be it people, places, things, ideas. Right? So, coming in hot. Fun stuff. Where are we? Okay, we're in the energy of the Hanged Man. We're the Hanged One right now. We are in, I love this deck, it's the Way Home Tarot, and the imagery that is presented comes through as a cosmic chrysalis that we are in the middle of right now. So there is part of us that almost feels as if we are in the cosmic soup. We've liquefied ourselves into our own personal ocean of subatomic particles, and we are restructuring ourselves. Hey everybody, remember how we're currently in the middle of a Mercury retrograde? What a great time for this work of doing that, whatever soul searching is calling for you, whatever interesting phrasing that's coming through. It's like indulgence in your restfulness. Mm-hmm. Like the things the things that your system is asking from you, particularly if they're different, particularly if it feels a little bit new for you. I invite you to indulge that, to see what and how that can contribute to the energy that you're cultivating for yourself. Cute. This feels very familiar to me as well. So Daughter of Pentacles or Page of Pentacles. And if you happen to be less familiar with tarot, let me hold up for studio audience. So if you're less familiar with tarot, this is that earth energy. The energy of solidity. It could be about the materials, world stuff, your money, your work, your resources. I also like to put self-worth in here, and that is the one that's really lighting up for me. Choose the one that is lighting up for you to see how this information can be best utilized by you and your system as you are returning to cosmic soup. And if I close my eyes or get quiet for a second, I'm just checking in with the information to see what wants to come through. Yeah. And this feels like a rededication to ourselves. Almost a rededication to our own animal bodies. To the kind of work we want to do in the world. To the kind of plants we want to grow in our literal or metaphorical gardens. Yeah, there's some pretty big starting over energy here. And I love that that daughter energy or page energy it does remind me of full energy a lot, which is it can be childlike, or there is a bit of innocence or naivete to it as well. But there is commitment and dedication, regardless of those other things. So, what's going on beneath that? And Ace of Cups. So, going off of that energy of newness, what seems to be rumbling, since we were talking seismic earlier, in a subterranean way, is this new gift of our relationship to our emotions, our relationship to our own hearts. Ooh, there's like a sentence coming through that I really want to grab the string on the balloon and bring it down for everybody. Ooh, yeah. So while this is an individual thing, it's also a really collective experience where while we are, it almost feels like allowing ourselves to be quenched by it could be a new experience, new edit of a personal narrative that you might be holding. But there's also this collective piece that feels like the cumulative ripples that get created when there is a confluence of individuals who are like resonating at the frequency of living heart forward, and being willing to hold our healing, our intuition, our magic, our well-being, all of that good stuff, in a really true way, really gorgeous and true way is the best way I can communicate the energy that's coming through about that. What are we moving out of? Interesting. Maybe not necessarily out of. What is a place that we are operating from that we have recently had residence with? And this card is the Empress. A lovely, lovely Empress who is a home of creativity, and I love the representation in this deck. There is this beautiful, sprawling tree that is growing out of a human heart. Maybe that's an assumption. It might not be a human heart. But any living, beating, caring, full heart in its representation, it feels very expressive and generative and speaks to the vitality of that lifeblood that is pumping through the trunk of this tree, through each branch and limb and leaf of this being. And it feels like we have been in this place where creatively we have been feeling perhaps more of that network of vitality that we're able to create, or that we exist within. Cool. I'm like, did that make sense?
Yeah.
That felt wordy. Cool.
I love words.
Ooh. We love it. Cool. So moving forward from, let's say, informed by that creative, fertile, generative energy of beauty that the Empress brings into the world, it feels like that's getting stirred into this cauldron or cipher of the High Priestess energy. So tapped in, like, the High Priestess being the kind of the guardian of the gates. I've been making a joke recently that magic is like just a step to the right, a la Rocky Horror. But finding what that is for ourselves right now. Like, what is that slight shift What is that pivot that, trying to think of an image to leave folks with. So if we're thinking about, wow, that's what I came up with, like next gen Star Trek, when they're going through the, what do you call the thing? When they beam me up.
The ward? No.
God, my brain's
Wow.
blanking. I should know that.
A room full of 30, 40 somethings, 20 somethings.
Transporter.
Thank you.
A transporter.
Transporter.
And it took us also. So when, and it's the moment in the transporter where the person is like, they've keyed in the destination and that the glitter situation starts to happen. The high priestess is that moment of being between spaces. So all of us we can be the places where our realities meet. So, and I'm gonna land us on 2 cards. This is advice moving forward. That's really sweet. Okay. So Mother of Cups or Queen of Cups if you were looking it up in other places. Who is inviting us to kind of fill the cup within, if you will. To identify how you can best pour self-care, pour love, pour attention and affection into yourself such that you are that. It is a melding with that energy. And as we're doing that, we are simultaneously letting go. The last card is that of dropping the stuff we don't need, going back to the beginning of getting in line with the destiny that we're heading towards already, and just letting go of the stuff that does not serve. We ain't got time, essentially. We just don't have time to continue. Ooh, wow, rough wording. To continue to choose to be in a mired situation. So it's an ask to get out of the things that we can identify as like, I'm wading through a swamp. And it is kind of like clearing out or filtering the water that is available for you in your life. So that is a quick new moon reading for all of us going forward. Thank you, studio audience.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Any questions? Any thoughts before we close it down?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love a question. And if not, that is totally cool too.
I haven't got too many thoughts.
I feel compelled by a question, but no, not a real question, but by the idea of a question.
It got conceptual. I love it. Oh, if any of you have questions, feel free to slide up in my DMs and say what's up and ask me anything that arrives at you to ask. If you're interested, you can check out my little page. It's Blooming Fire PDX.
What
I
is
have
it again?
It is @ Blooming Fire PDX. You can also check out my website, which is bloomingfirehealing.com, making it easy for everybody, where you can schedule yourself a reading or an energy work session and learn more about me and the ways that I work. So thank you for joining, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your beautiful new moon. Bye.
Don't forget to like and subscribe at the bottom.
Push.